Notice McAtee.
Picture this. You're sitting at home having some good quality family time in front of the TV when all of a sudden you hear a loud groaning noise coming from outside your window. You peek out to see a collection of zombies dragging themselves closer and closer. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to run up to your room and hide under the covers? Or maybe you could use those new ninja skills that you learned from watching The Karate Kid. You see, it's pretty fun to think about these kinds of things because the chances of them happening are about as good as your dog speaking French, right? Well, not exactly. We see them every day. We walk with them, talk with them, the walking spiritually dead. They look just like us. No rotting flesh, no brain-eating tendencies. So, I know what you're thinking. How in the world can you compare a living, breathing human being to a zombie? It's completely obvious that they're not physically dead. But like I said before, this is a matter of their spirits. Being spiritually dead means that the soul is separated from God. That means that that person maybe had an experience with God in the past and they felt left down. Or maybe they just haven't even heard the word of God. So what does this have to do with you? You know, in Matthew 22:39, Jesus explains that his second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. Tell me what kind of love will let your family, your friends, your co-workers suffer an eternity in hell. It sounds harsh, but that's exactly what we as Christians do when we withhold the life-giving knowledge that is Jesus Christ. So if we take a look in the Bible, there was a prophet named Ezekiel. Now, Ezekiel was pretty important, hence the fact that he had a book in the Bible named after him. But at the end of the day, he was just like you and me. In Ezekiel 37, God brought this man to a valley lacking everything vital to survival. The only things there were dry bones. Now, God knew that he could bring Ezekiel to this valley. Why? Because Ezekiel was willing to be used by God, and he knew that God had the ability to use him. Now, this sort of miracle that happened in the Bible is kind of different from one that you would see in another story. You know, God didn't just send a lightning bolt down and boom, the bones came back to life. God commanded Ezekiel in Ezekiel 37:12, therefore prophesy and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord says. My people, I am going to open up your graves and bring you up from them. To prophesy is to speak God's life and plan to someone. To God, these bones weren't just another miracle. They were living, breathing human beings who had a future. Ezekiel's purpose was not only to be a vessel, but he was to prophesy and to speak life into those bones. Now, like I said before, us and Ezekiel share a similar calling. As followers of Jesus Christ, we are obligated to breathe life back into those who are spiritually dead. God has a destiny for each and every single one of those people. So it's time to step up and invest time into others. It's as easy as a simple conversation over coffee or an invitation to church. You know, also never forget that prayer is one of your most important weapons. Pray over their past, that it is erased. Pray over their present, that God opens up their ears and hearts to hear what he has to say to them. And most importantly, pray over their future and speak life into them. I know that we are not perfect in any way, shape, or form, but we must strive to be filled with Christ's love so that we can pour it onto others. You know, we are at war with Satan over these souls. I hope you're ready, because the sooner that you are willing to be used by God, the sooner that your friends, family, the zombies can be brought back to life.